Okay, great. Good morning. My name is Leslie Nobile. I'm the Director of Registration Services at ARIN. And this presentation is entitled Global RIR Statistics. And it's actually a collaborative effort on the part of all four of the regional internet registries, APNIC, ARIN, LACNIC, and the RIP NCC. And we put this together as a result of feedback from our communities. People were interested in seeing the current status of IPv4, IPv6, and ASN numbers. And they wanted to see comparative data between the RIRs, excuse me, and they wanted to see it in one presentation. So this is something we put together and we periodically update. So the first graph is the IPv4 address space status. This is the entire IPv4 address space as listed on the IANA website, and it's listed in /H. And I'm going to kind of walk through the pie. Excuse me. I'm going to start with the registries at the top. ARIN, LACNIC, APNIC, and RIP NCC. We've actually color-coded them, tried to carry it throughout the rest of the presentation for consistency. ARIN is shown as having 16/H on the IANA website. This is a combination of space delegated by the IANA and some of the inherited space from the internet days. LACNIC has 1/8, it's 200/8. APNIC has 9, the RIP NCC has 10. The purple section is called the Central Registry. It's actually pre-RIR space. It's legacy space, some people would call. And it was allocated by the IANA and John Postel in the early days, the SRI NIC, DoD NIC, and the Internic. So there were 94/8 accounted for there. And this is basically the classical space. The next pie it's entitled to IANA Reserve. It's actually part of the Central Registry. It's designated on the IANA page as two various registries. However, the RIRs discovered that it was there's 17/8s that have never been utilized, never been allocated from, never been routed. And so we have asked the IANA to take that space back and put it into the IANA Reserve. So it will eventually move over to those green pies. The green pies are actually space held by the IANA. Of course, there's the multicast Class D space. There's 16/8 there. The experimental Class E space, 16/8 there. And then the IANA Reserve space, which has 77/8 remaining. And once that 17 moves over, the number will increase to about 94/8. So this is the entire V4 space as it stands today. This is just a sort of a 4-year slice from 1999 to 2002. It's the IPv4 allocations that the RIRs have made to their LARs or ISPs. LARs, of course, is the terminology used in the RIP NCC and APNIC region, and it refers to ISPs. It's local internet registries. So it's basically just here to show the growth trends. 99 to 2000, growth in all of the regions. 2001, still some growth in all of the regions, particularly in the ARIN region. We kind of, I guess we peaked at 2.25/8 in 2001, and then we started to see this decline in 2002 in V4 allocations in the RIP region and in the ARIN region, and actually even in the LACNIC region, which is in white, very small amounts of space there. But the APNIC region stayed the same. Actually, I think they increased slightly by I think that was 1.72/8 that they allocated in 2002. So there's a real difference between the regions in 2002. So let's see, IPv4 allocations from the RIRs to LIRs. This is just a continuation of the previous slide. It's the cumulative totals in that 4-year period, 99 to 2002, how much space we actually allocated. ARIN allocated 6.64/8, LACNIC 0.19, APNIC 4.86, and the RIP NCC 5.07. And remember, that's only a 4-year period, not from the beginning. These are ASN assignments made by the RIRs to various organizations. It's a yearly comparison, again, 4-year chunk of time, and shows the growth trends. Basically, again, 1999 to 2000, you saw a real increase, particularly in the ARIN region. We signed more than 2,500 ASNs that year. And then the ARIN region started to see a decline in 2001 and in 2002, even further down. We signed less ASNs. the RIPE region peaked in 2001, and now they've been assigning less ASNs in 2002 as well. And the APNIC just has held steady. They have this very slow, steady growth, but very minimal. And LACNIC, again, followed the trend with a slower growth in 2002. I should probably add that the LACNIC stats, although they're showing 4-year period, they've only been a valid recognized RIR since November of 2002. But Aaron managed to separate the data for LACNIC from our numbers and go back over the 4-year period and show the ASNs, IPv4 and IPv6 assignments for LACNIC. So this again is just the 4-year cumulative total from the previous slide. Aaron assigned 8,702 autonomous system numbers in that 4-year period. LACNIC 471, APNIC 1,968, and the RIPE NCC 4,361. So I'll move to IPv6 allocations from the RIRs to ISPs or LIRs. And this again is the 4-year period. The thing to note here is that the first IPv6 allocation was actually made in 1999. So this is the entire historical allocation for production IPv6 space from the RIRs to their customers. And basically you can see the growth trend all the way up through 2002. It's steady growth in all the regions, but particularly in the RIPE region in 2002, they made almost 100 IPv6 allocations. They really pulled ahead in this past year. And again, the cumulative total for the 4 years, Aaron made 35 IPv6 allocations, the LACNIC region 7, APNIC 95, and the RIPE NCC 140. And this number is current as of December 31st, so the numbers have actually increased since then. We've all made additional V6 allocations since then. And we decided to add a country code slide in here. People are interested in where the V6 space is being used, and so we decided to show the top 5 countries and then all the other countries on the right. And of course, Japan is number 1 with 51 V6 allocations. The U.S. is actually number 2 with 29. Germany 27. The Netherlands, surprisingly, 17. And Korea 14, and then all other countries 139. So there's a total of, as of December 31st, 277 V6 allocations that had been made by the RIRs. And actually, that's the end of the stats. This is the links to the RIR statistics in case anyone's interested. The raw data, all the RIRs keep raw data, and it's listed as /A. It's on our FTP sites. And the aso.icann.org site has a link to all the RIRs. And then the historical RIR allocations are kept on the IANA website, of course. And the RIR stats, I've listed the 4 RIR links for the statistics. There's a variety of stuff that's kept there, all kinds of stats. So you can go there at any time. And the one thing I would ask is if anyone is interested in seeing particular types of statistics, we would welcome that feedback. We take feedback from the community, and if there's certain statistics you want to see, it would be great to get some email so that I could take it back to the other registries. I don't have my email address, but it's relatively simple. It's leslie@aaron.net. So if there's anything you'd want to see, please let me know. And I think that's it. I caught us up.
Thank you, Leslie. In the interest of trying to find some semblance of being back on schedule, we're just going to go for Barry. So, thank you. Oh, Susan has one. All right, if Susan has one, we have to take it, I guess.
Wait, I missed that comment, and I want to hear it. What did you say? When you make a V6, or when one of the registries makes a V6 allocation, how big a company or an organization gets it?
It depends. We've allocated to small organizations, to universities, to vendors, to
So this is
large.
total.
It's total.
Total
In fact, yeah. I should actually mention, before we do this, the numbers that I listed are actually /32s and /35s. The registries operate under a single IPv6 policy, so we're all using the same criteria. And it's listed on all of our websites if anyone is interested. But the criteria is not very complicated, and in fact, I could tell you that in Aaron's 4-year history, we have rejected, flat out denied, only 3 IPv6 requests out of well over 70 requests that we've received. So it's very rare that someone gets turned down. It's pretty easy to get IPv6 space, so come see us. We'd love it. I'm sorry, what? Actually, it wasn't. It was because they, there's two different reasons. I'm trying to think. It wasn't because they weren't ISPs. That was something that I had been asked before. I believe it was because they were asking for less than the minimum allocation size. In two of the cases, they were asking for /48s, and the minimum allocation size is /32 now. So, yeah, that was. So, anything else? Nope. Okay. Great. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Leslie.